What you want? What you want?
Hello and welcome to Gory Talk. I am Gory B Movie, and today we are joined by my very good buddy, Count Jackula.
Hey, everybody out there in the Gory pit.
So we are live. Okay, good.
Oh, wow. Okay, live. Ooh, pressure's on.
Oh, whatever. So actually, he's not at all shy. We're gonna maybe have to dial it back a bit because we can't stream for 12 hours today. Okay, Jack?
Right. Okay, fine.
We have done this before. We have streamed for 12 hours. So
yes,
we've got Annie in the chat. What's up? Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I see a
Annie
Cersei.
is here. I know they were very excited that you were going to be here today. So
Oh, wonderful.
pretty cool.
Oh,
So
that's
Jack,
wonderful. Yes.
introduce yourself for
Oh,
everybody
I am-
who may not know who you are, which is just ridiculous. But there could be somebody.
There probably are some people. I'm Count Jackula. I used to review horror movies for Channel Awesome. I now do vlogs with the Horror Guru, and I stream every weekday night around 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tonight might be an exception because I'm hanging out with Gory tonight.
Yeah.
But usually I'm found over there. You can find me, Count Jackula.
Sweet. Yeah, you've been streaming since like Blip days. Like some kids
Yes.
think they're old because they remember Vine. Y'all know what Blip was?
I remember Justin TV.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that's ages ago. But yeah,
Yeah, it's been going good, going. I'm surprised it's still going at all, to be totally honest, because these days I come on and I have no idea what I'm going to talk about anymore.
yeah.
Like I used to try to have a topic, I used to try to stay on task, and then at some point it was just like turn on the camera. Hey, everybody.
Topic schmopic. Remember the time that you passed out while streaming?
I do.
And everybody was like trying to call you?
Yes.
But
yeah.
you
and one
looked
night in
well
Bangkok was
rested.
playing on a loop.
I was like, he's fine. He's sleeping.
Yeah, I was fine. I had just had a little too much to drink. And I passed out.
After a
like,
certain
oh my God.
amount of years of streaming, I think we've all have like our stories, especially if you drink. So
yeah, I
mine
stopped.
would
That
be
was
the
when
time I waxed my eyebrow off. Was that smart? No. Was I drunk? Yes.
Yeah, that was the last time I got really drunk on stream because I'm like, I can't be passing out. That's not charming.
There are people who stream like 24 hours a day, dude, and they sleep, I guess. So.
No, you don't get to.
They don't get to see you sleep.
If I don't get to see what I look like when I'm asleep, you don't. You know.
You can film yourself like in Paranormal Activity.
Oh, great. Then you know what? The ghost will just be me farting in my sleep. It'll just be like, oh, great. Yeah, that'll be entertainment. You know.
So yeah, this is the perfect show for you to be on because it's kind of like Seinfeld in that there is no plot, there is no topic. It's just is what it is. I recently decided that I don't spend enough time with my horror community friends. So
yeah, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, so I before I was doing shows, I had topics and they required a lot of research, and this is just a very chill. We talk about spooky stuff and hang out. But just catching up with good people. People in the chat, people guest. Chat's pretty quiet today. I don't know if anyone's even watching today.
Well, hopefully.
On my end, I'm getting an error for the thing playing, so hopefully it is working. But I don't know.
Oh, you're getting that you're not able to see you have to look at the actual like page to see the chat.
If I go to YouTube, I just get a black screen. But is it working for everybody else?
Yeah, I've got it. I see it.
So you can watch the stream?
I can see. Yes, I see the comment. It says
we
hi
have the
all.
one comment. Yes. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming Annie can see the screen. So if you guys are having an error or something, let me know because that would suck.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jack, what have you been streaming about these days?
Well, I stream a lot. Well, as you may or may not know, I've been doing a lot of game design lately.
I knew you were doing, I think it was a tabletop role-playing game?
Yeah, it's a tabletop role-playing game called Babylon.
Tell me all about it, dude.
Oh, well, it is an ancient story of rebellion. You are playing monsters in the modern era who live in the underground world of Babylon, where you fight angels, and the angels are definitely the bad guys.
They're dicks.
Classic, yeah, it's a classic war with heaven, but it happens in the modern day and in the streets of Los Angeles.
Very cool.
Yep. Right now, the thing is the manuscript is being edited, but it is written, and we're looking to have the Kickstarter in early 2026 next year, basically.
So if you support the Kickstarter, do you get like a book or?
Yeah, if you support the Kickstarter and it succeeds, you get a book. You could get a Game Master screen. You will also have the opportunity to help us reach certain goals, which will put certain things in the game. My favorite right now are the cat people, the Mao, because right now we have 5 races essentially that are part of the game: vampires, ghouls, hellspawn, Medusa, and werewolf. And we want to add a few more of those, a few more into the main book. And if we get the support, we can actually do that. One is the Mao, which are spirit cat people.
Cat people are awesome.
Cat people, yeah, they're fun. The Slipmouth Woman is going to be another one. And
so it's something that can be expanded upon.
Yeah, it is. Like, we actually have a list of things that we want to eventually include. The Frankenstein is one of them. And because usually when you do like a modern horror role playing game, they go with the golem, but I specifically wanted to go with the Frankenstein. Like, bolts on their necks and like,
Are we going the
electricity,
full?
fire
Because
bad,
yeah, the whole Bela Lugosi. Everyone always equates that with Boris Karloff, but we didn't get that until Bela, his character, got his brain put into the monster.
It's a monster.
Because he's
yeah.
blind, guys. That's why.
There's
Remember
so many
that?
like
Jack, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, we're going with the kind of like classic Boris Karloff, like kind of
Bolts.
Frankenstein.
Hey, how
bolts,
perfect!
And
I
you
got
have a
the Frankenstein
yes.
headband today. I'm perfectly
Yeah,
suited
so that's
for this
one of the
conversation.
that's one of the things that we're doing. Hopefully early next year.
Very well. I'm going to support it for sure. I
Oh, thank you.
have not tabletopped in a long time. The last one I did, I really loved Eden Studios, and they went under, which is a bummer because they had the best games. They made Army of Darkness. I have that one. They did the
Yeah.
Buffy one, which was incredible, and there was going to be more expansions, and then they stopped doing it, and they did All Flesh Must Be
Flesh
Eaten.
Must Be Eaten.
Yes!
Yes.
I
that
love
was
that
a
game.
great
It
one.
is the perfect suicide game, which if you're not familiar with
Mhm.
tabletop, a suicide game is we're going to play this night until everyone's dead or maybe one person's left. Aw, is that a wild guru?
It is.
How crazy that I can recognize him by his his lower half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're like, bigger guy, so
yeah.
But like, yeah, so I've been doing a lot of that. I've been doing some other like game design on the side, largely dealing with Shadowrun and Cyberpunk.
I like
But
Cyberpunk. I
I
never played
really like the
Shadowrun.
Cyberpunk. Shadowrun's a really, really cool setting. Like one of the best settings in tabletop role-playing games, but it has one of the worst game systems.
Now correct me if I'm wrong here. Is Shadowrun related to D&D at all?
No,
Okay,
but it does have
Shadowrun?
elves. Shadowrun is
there's so many
elves
D&D,
on motorcycles.
like,
It's like
expansions.
elves on motorcycles
What?
with machine
Elves
guns.
on motorcycles?
Yeah, orcs with cyber
I
implants.
love anything on motorcycles. I love a mouse on a motorcycle. Bring it.
Yeah, so it's a really, really, really cool setting because what they did was they took classic fantasy races and then told stories of underprivileged people with them. And you could so they were able to actually talk about like racial tensions by using fantasy races as opposed to like real world ones, and kind of were able to allegorize it.
That's why I think horror is really strong, both for people who enjoy watching it or reading it, but also for creators. Like I'm working on a book, but I like having those horror metaphors that gives you a bit of distance where you can tackle the stuff like those. Stephen King talks a lot about poking the wounds. And, he goes for like the wounds of America, but like those parts of yourself that you want to explore. But I think that metaphor gives you a bit of distance to where you can really go in deep without.
It gives the reader a level of distance.
Yeah, I think that's good too.
It is.
It makes it a little more universal.
Yeah, exactly. Like like the way Star Trek would do it.
Exactly.
It's actually very effective. I got into an argument with another reviewer because they were like, no, you should just talk about it. And I'm like, no, are you kidding? Like when you just talk about it, people fucking lose their minds. Like they can't look into the horror of actual racial prejudice and be okay. They get defensive, they get angry, usually often because they're like, if you're white, you're on one end of that. You're on the bad end of that argument, and that's hard for people to take, and it's hard for them to distance themselves from. And I never thought it was that hard, but like, looking at our political situation right now, it's like, oh, I guess it was hard for a lot of people.
Well, and it also makes it available. Like a good example, I would say, I don't know if you've read House on the Cerulean Sea. It is about a orphanage that's on an island, and each of the children are monsters. So we have the Antichrist, we have a kid who's a were-Pomeranian, we have like they're all very, very powerful, and so they send this person over there to make sure that they're not super dangerous. But they're not allowed to go into town or anything because the guy who cares for them, he's a phoenix. He is afraid that people will be cruel to them. And the guy who gets there, it ends up being a love story between the guy who's supposed to check and make sure they're not dangerous. He falls in love with that guy. And he's like, no, you guys should be a part of the world. And they do deal with hatred. But he's like, they teach the children to be strong enough to deal with the people who are unkind, but they're also surprised by how many kind people they find. Like once they get to know the kids, like poor Lucy is the Antichrist. He goes into this
Right.
record store because Lucy loves music. And this guy who works there pulls him into the back room and tries to do an exorcism on him. And the record store owner is like, nah, dog, Lucy's cool. Leave him alone. So, like, yes, they have to deal with the ugliness of the world, but they're also learning that there's a lot of kindness in the world, too. It's a very upbeat story, but I guess the reason I bring it up is because the author who wrote it is LGBT. So it very
Mhm.
much can be relatable to people who are trans or LGBT, but I think also like racial minorities, anybody I
Yeah.
think who's felt like a misfit is going to have access to something that is personal through this story. And it's because of metaphor. Like if he outright said, well, they're trans kids and it's like a conversion camp, or he was inspired by, they had camps for Indigenous people in Canada,
Oh, geez.
like
Yeah.
reformatory
Those
schools.
places.
And
Ugh.
him being a white guy, he's like, that is not my story to tell, but I can tell a story about what it feels like to be LGBT and come from a place that I know. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing something similar with Babylon, but it is not. It is not a story about the kindness of man. It is the story. It is a rebellious story of monsters saying "fuck you." You know, we're not. We're not. You know, it's like we're not oppressed by. They're not oppressed by humans. They're too powerful. What they are. So the oppressive force comes from the angels.
the angels.
You know, that's
That's
the
something we
oppressive
saw a lot in
force.
like the show Supernatural too, where the angels are just
Yeah,
dicks.
yeah.
The
Angels
angels
are
are also
dicks.
dicks in Has Been Hotel.
Yes.
I think we're getting a lot more of that.
A
In
lot of
horror.
people a lot of people have made the connection between Babylon Has Been Hotel, and I have to keep explaining them. I'm like, only in that there is an underground world and there are monsters and angels involved.
Mhm.
Because the solution in Has Been Hotel is generally to be empathetic and vulnerable.
Mhm.
The solution in Babylon is to kick someone in the nuts and shoot them in the face with a shotgun.
I think we need both. I mean, I think we have sometimes the need to try to access, like, especially if you're very, very angry and it's consuming you. For some of us,
Oh
I
yeah,
think
oh
the
yeah.
therapy that we find in horror is to find something that teaches you to find love and embrace the good. But sometimes I think, especially when you need to release that anger, you need to see people that you relate to getting vengeance. And
Yeah,
it's cathartic.
yeah.
I mean, it's just like rape revenge movies.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Rape revenge movies, a to that's a genre of film that I am constantly into, even though a lot of them aren't very good.
I agree.
We have there are some of the best. I mean, at the top of the heap remains "I Spit on Your Grave."
I have talked to you about this and I disagree. But
Uh,
I think revenge is really good. I think there's a lot of, I think it's done best when it's made by female filmmakers. I think Wes Craven did a pretty good job with Last House on the Left. I have a lot of issues with I Spit on Your Grave, and it mostly comes down to the male filmmaker.
mm,
The lingering gazes on her ass from behind. A female would know better. And the problem with that is when we're lingering on her ass from behind, we're forcing the viewer into the perspective of the
the rapist.
assaulters.
Yeah,
And I think
that was actually something I thought worked really well about the movie
interesting.
because um it is supposed to be like, yeah, look what you're doing.
I think that is a good
You
way to
know.
kind of turn it on the audience and to make them guess. I think especially like if you think of movies like Promising Young Women, where there are a lot of guys who think just because they don't violently attack women that they're good
Yeah.
guys. But there's a lot of
Yeah.
ways
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I mean, anything you do that's not consensual is an attack.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if she's passed out and
Particularly.
she's not saying no, that doesn't mean
Yeah.
yes.
Particularly when you put hands on somebody in
Yeah.
any way.
So I think
Like
that is a good
that's.
perspective. My other big issue with it is I feel, I mean, because I enjoy rape revenge movies because I want that catharsis, that
Right.
vindication. And the like one of the kills there is where she's pulling a guy, and I don't think she's strong enough to do that. And I really, really, truly hate when she cuts the guy's dick off.
Oh,
Because
why?
the biggest issue for me as somebody who has experienced sexual assault
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that it was so violent, I do not see any woman who's experienced that being able to have the person who attacked them in a bathtub with them, to be naked around them. I think you would go into like full body like shaking. I just don't think it's very realistic. I
Oh.
think you'd be so triggered. It's been a week. I think she would have been
Yeah.
too triggered to
Yeah.
do something like that. I also think it's fucking stupid that she hands him a gun. And he like I just so
That was
much
a little weird.
that
Yeah.
whole scene really bugs me. And that's where I'm like, and this was written by a guy. So it's not that men
Oh,
can't
yeah.
do it. I think men have made rape revenge movies that are very, very good. I like Miss 45. There's a lot I like. But that one has a lot of issues on it. And the other thing I find really gross is when I listen to interviews with the director who he put his wife in that. And when he talks about it, he talks a lot about how sexy she is and stuff. I'm like, honey, we're seeing her raped in this movie. Please
Yeah,
don't
I
say
see your rape
this.
this movie. Maybe pull it back.
And
Yeah.
I feel like it bleeds into the film where it's confusing in that it's telling us that we should be angry that this happened to her, but it's also making her a sex object. They also have a character who is somehow on the spectrum, and the way he's handled is so
Oh,
poorly
yeah.
done.
Yeah, Matthew. Yeah, it's done that. But despite all that, one of the things I really like about it is that it does enter mythical space.
Explain. I'm listening.
Okay, so there is there's a story, a Hindu tale of Saraswati, that the movie mirrors. You know, they're two big like now infidelity is the wrong word, but they're two like big woman done wrong stories. One is Sita, but that is about infidelity. You know, then there's Sarasvati, which is more about violation. But she's a river goddess. And you know, where's the last scene of the movie? It's on a river.
That scene I like. There are scenes I like in
Yeah.
it. I'm not saying this is a movie we should throw out with the bathwater. It's
Right,
just I have
right.
problems.
It's just not your favorite,
Exactly.
you know.
But I like hearing
Yeah.
different people's perspectives, especially when it's a movie I don't like. I'm not one of those people who is so emotionally tied to my beliefs that I feel like personally attacked. I like to hear different perspectives. One movie I
Yeah.
really hate is Funny People, and I met somebody that was their
Wait,
favorite
funny-
movie, and we sat down and talked for 4 hours.
Funny
about it.
Games or Funny People?
Funny Games. My bad. Funny People's Adam Sandler.
Okay.
Funny Games.
Yeah,
I really
Funny
don't like
Ga-
that movie.
I hate that. I hate both those movies.
Yeah, I really didn't like it. I
hate Funny
didn't think we
Games.
needed a remake, but there was I speak at Crypticon Seattle on panels about horror, and someone was doing a panel on it, and I just think it's really fascinating to hear different perspectives, to challenge our own beliefs on things. And I think, again, because horror is so metaphorical, it gives us new entryways into films and stuff. We may be able to access parts, even like I said, like if you don't like the movie, like I don't like A Spitting in a Grave, I do like the perspective you gave me on it making you question yourself as the viewer. I think maybe because I'm female, I'd never thought of that before, but it does make me appreciate it a little bit more than I did before.
Yeah, if you're a guy watching that
Victor
movie,
says, it's okay, I hate Funny People too. Same, dude, same. They're all three bad.
yeah, it is one of the things about watching I Spit on Your Grave as a guy. which is you are supposed to feel like kind of a piece of shit.
I never thought of that, and particularly because one of the first book that it's famous for being the book that coined the term final girl, but if you've read Men, Women, and Chainsaws, it tackles a lot of stuff. It has a lot of other things in there too about like found
Yeah, but
just
Carol
loads of
Clover,
things are in there.
that's a great book.
It's a fantastic book. People would kind of think that the whole thing's about final girls. It's actually just one chapter, but her introduction in that is really clever. And the reason why she wrote the book is because she's a horror fan. She would go to a lot of horror movies, and she was like listening to like Siskel and Ebert, people who were really popular at the time, and their critique on horror. Like Roger Ebert had a horrible experience seeing I Spit on Your Grave. I guess people were laughing, and I think what he misunderstood is when people are really upset, they respond in different ways. So I've known, especially men, will laugh in very scary movies, and I don't think it's they're trying to be rude. I think they don't know what to do. They're so kind of shocked to their core, and that comes out as laughter, it comes out as crying, it comes out as gasping. People respond differently, but Roger Ebert was disgusted, and he completely lambasted this film. And he said essentially the only people who would see this movie are people who want to vicariously experience assaulting somebody. And Carol Clover, she said, I don't think that's true. Because she saw that movie and she empathized with the victim. So she's like, am I getting a different experience here? So she looked at the people who are going to horror movies. Who went with who? Like, you know, do women go to horror movies? Who do they go with? And what are men doing? What are men doing in these movies? Are they empathizing with the victim, or are they empathizing with the killer? And she found that they were empathizing with the victim.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
totally.
I would hope so, because while we are different genders, you are still human. So
Yeah.
I think that it's a
Yeah.
human thing to empathize with somebody who is in pain. But I'm glad that she finally made it clear, at least to people who read the book, that we don't have a bunch of horror fans who are complete sociopaths.
Yeah, yeah, and the ultimate point of her book was when you get to that last chapter and she kind of like reveals what she's really talking about, is brilliant, because she's just like, the problem that we have is that we have we in, you know, the liberal arts don't understand or acknowledge masochism. It's like, why would you identify with the horribly abused victim? Well, A, why wouldn't you? And B, because there is a masochistic impulse. You know, just like some people have a sadistic impulse, some people have masochistic impulse.
And I think we explore those parts of ourselves through horror. I think,
yeah,
honestly,
we do.
the people who tend to laugh and stuff, I tend to not see that in people who are avid horror fans who watch a lot of horror movies. It's usually people who went to go see Paranormal Activity with their friends, and it's not the kind of thing they normally watch, and they don't know what to do right now. Or they've never seen a rape revenge movie before. And at the time, that movie was, that genre
that movie was
kind of new.
Well, that was, yeah.
That was a whole kind of new genre. We were coming off of like nudie cuties and like the softcore stuff, but there was like somebody being attacked. It was kind of new. So
yeah, somebody being attacked for like attacked again and attacked again for 40 fucking minutes.
Yeah, and so I can see people being uncomfortable, and like, you know, Heather mentioned in the chat, you know, she sometimes like laughs because sometimes you don't know what to do, especially if you've never experienced this situation before. You have nothing to draw upon. But I think, and this was a argument Eli Roth made, as again, kind of commenting on the same thing, that horror fans are probably deranged, that they're more likely to be violent, that you should be afraid if your friend's a horror fan because, you know, they just might be a serial killer. And he made the argument that because horror fans are willingly going into these dark places, willingly exploring these places where they have to question themselves and they have to confront the ugliness in the world, you're probably a lot safer with them.
Because
they
I would agree with that.
They're not afraid of these things. They're more comfortable, I guess, with that kind of inherent darkness that we all have. And I think we tend to find that the people who are really violent are people who have been really suppressed. You know, like you find like the really religious people, oftentimes they can crack.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't often you don't often find someone who's like, for example, someone who shot up a school with a huge horror collection. You
They
know, you
always
don't.
try to do that,
They
and
always try to do that. It's
there's
never the
never
case.
anything there.
And one of the things that I always thought was kind of fascinating is the fact that when you get right down to it, a lot of horror movies are very, there's a huge section of horror movies that are very like, I don't know how to explain it, but there are a lot that are they're upholding the normal moral values of the society.
That is entirely true. That is I find it really fascinating. There is one YouTuber I follow. I can't remember his name, sorry, but he is a priest and his
Hmm.
favorite movie is Trick or Treat. And he explains that a lot of the things we teach in church, this movie is saying, like, don't do bad things or there will be consequences. It's a lot of what Christianity as a religion teaches is that if you transgress, if you have premarital sex, if you drink, and a lot of horror movies support that. There was
Yeah.
another guy who was back in the days of when Buffy was still on television. He had a blog and he was also a preacher, and he suggested that a lot of people, like teens especially in his congregation, watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer because Buffy gets away with nothing. Buffy does
Yeah.
anything. If Buffy sleeps with her boyfriend, oh, he turns into a fucking demon. If Buffy drinks a beer, she turns into a cave woman. Buffy gets away with nothing. There are always consequences. And Christianity is very much about telling you that if you do something bad, there will be consequences for you. So
Yeah.
it makes total sense. I don't know why more Christian people aren't into horror.
Yeah. One of my favorites that deals with that is Ginger Snaps.
Yeah.
Like there's this kind of tongue-in-cheek there's this real tongue-in-cheek aspect of Ginger Snaps, which is basically saying, don't sleep with boys and do drugs or you might turn into a werewolf.
And
That's not
even
how it works, and that's not how it goes in the movie, but you can feel that.
it even has that same kind of point of view that Christianity has about women. I'm not saying this about all Christian people. This is just a general theoretical thing. But, in Christianity, Eve is blamed for original sin. Women
Yeah.
get blamed for a lot of fucking shit. And Ginger Snaps is very much like, be afraid of women coming into maturity.
Yeah.
She gets her
Yeah, they're
period and now she
dangerous.
crazy. Even just that what do you call it, superstition or misbelief that a woman on her period is insane. It's all in Ginger Snaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I
Yeah.
love about Ginger Snaps is I think, again, I think it's getting better now that we're getting more female filmmakers. I think men can tell female stories, but it is a lot different when a woman tells her own story.
Oh, very different. Very
But
different.
uh, a lot of movies I feel paint women to be more submissive or sweet or cute. And I love Ginger Snaps because I think all women have this part of themselves that really does just want to see the whole world burn. We have it just like men
Oh,
do. We
yeah.
have anger in us. We have fire in us. And we're taught that we're not allowed to have that. Disney princesses don't have that. And I
Yeah.
like that Ginger Snaps gave us girls who are into dark stuff, girls who are angry.
Yeah, another strangely enough, a series that also did that I was very, very surprised given how the series starts is Terrifier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you
Terrifier is so weird.
you do not you gotta, man, you watch all three of those movies and you're like, man, I did not expect us to be here by the end of it. By the end of it, there's like demons and magic. A fucking portal to hell opens up. And you're like, what?
There's a lot in there. Though
It's a lot in Terrifier. Yeah.
I do feel like Terrifier does kind of the thing where there are alternative girls who are cool and badass. And then there's
Yeah.
like the blonde ditzy girls who just don't get it. He does that on almost all the movies. And that
Yeah.
would be my one criticism from a female point of view. I think, again, like, look at Buffy. Buffy is that blonde girl. And Buffy
True.
has fire in her. She has anger. She's a badass. She also
Yeah.
wants to go to prom. She also wants to dress up and go on a date. That doesn't make her any less than because
Yeah.
she is typically girl. Like,
Yeah.
and it's also just our society too, the way our society turns on anything that is considered girl. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Twilight gets popular
Definitely.
and everyone
Definitely.
shits on it, and most people who shit on it have never read the books or seen the movies, but they know
I've
girls
seen
like
the movies,
it, so it must
and
be
I
lame.
shit on it. I shit on it. I saw those movies. I poop on you.
The thing that gets me about it is the passionate hatred that so many guys have for it, and it's the same hatred for like Justin Bieber. I don't listen to it, but because it's a girl thing, it gets unfounded hatred. Whereas something that's moronic that men like, Fast and the Furious, does not get this hatred.
Yeah, it doesn't get the
There's
same.
a fucking ride up for that at Universal Studios, but God forbid, like, there's anything Twilight ever, because girls like it, and that makes it lame. I mean, even growing up, I have brothers and stuff, and I felt like,
well, to be fair, I don't know what a Twilight ride would look like.
I mean, it would be awesome.
I'm just trying to figure out what
oh my gosh,
do.
You could have I'm spitballing here, but I got this pulling out of my butthole. You're gonna, like, okay, the ride itself, you know how like they have the Harry Potter rides where you get on the hippogriff? Oh fuck no.
Yeah.
You get to get on an Edward. You get to climb on his back like a spider monkey. They'll strap you on, and then he goes zoop, and then it can go up through the trees and stuff like zip line on your own Edward. It's a spider monkey ride now at Universal.
Okay. That, I could see problems with that, but
I mean, I just came up with this. I literally just pulled this out of my butt. We're gonna workshop
I think it might be. I think it might be better if you did it with the werewolves.
Well, that's the next part. Like maybe you get
That's the next part.
Yeah, then you can ride some werewolves. But she's always riding on Edward's back.
Yeah.
Blood splatter waterfall. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, like, oh yeah, I guess there was a blood splatter. There was a blood waterfall in one of those movies, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the last.
I'm gonna have my own theme park. It's gonna have like a Blade 2 dance party where there's like blood sprinklers. And...
Well, see, yeah, that I can see. That I could see easy.
My theme park's gonna be cool, dude. It's gonna be all girly horror stuff. We're gonna have a whole Monster High area. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh, speaking of Monster High, did you see that they're doing? Oh, well then
Don't be mean.
You need to strap yourself down.
Strapped in, dude.
All right, because tomorrow, I don't know what time, but there is a website. There's going to be a limited time where you can get an Alien Queen Monster High doll.
I did know about that. I don't actually collect the dolls. I just watched the show. I just recently started watching it.
I'm really tempted because
it looks really cool.
It looks really cool.
Have you seen the other horror dolls they have? Like they've done Corpse Bride, but they did one from Us. It's Red and Adeline, and it comes with like a rabbit.
No.
And the other one comes with like paper dolls and scissors.
These are Monster High dolls?
Monster High dolls. They have Megan. They have Wednesday.
I saw Megan.
Monster High is cool, dude.
I think that, you know what they should have done? They should have done the substance.
They might. They did Us.
That's true. They did Us. They might do the substance.
I think that'd be really cool.
Man, speaking of a movie that definitely needed to be done by a woman, right?
One I saw recently where I'm like, I mean, like I said, I think women can tell men's stories. The Outsiders is a terrific example.
Mm-hmm.
I think some men, Grady Hendrix only writes women characters, and I'm just like, who's telling you our secrets, sir? Because you seem to understand women better than most other women. It can be done, but most of our films are made by men, and not every man has this ability. But one I saw recently where I'm like, gosh, only a woman could have told that was Ugly Stepsister. Like, it's so embedded in what women deal with, like these pressures to look a certain way and act a certain way, and that your value is only on your outer appearance. I was just like, oh, honey, this was a woman definitely wrote and directed this.
The scene that filled me with the most dread was she goes in for one of the surgeries, right? And then they start talking
eyelashes.
Yeah. And they start talking about like her breasts. And I'm like, oh, they have breast enhancement surgery in this world. Okay. I don't think I want to know what that
The
entails.
eyelashes are
And
sewn into
then,
their eyes.
yeah, sewn into
And
her eye.
one lady who he's like, look at hers. She's missing an eye, so they must have messed up.
Yeah. But then in the next scene, they bring in this cabinet. And I'm like, what are they going to do to her? Oh, God. And it's just the dress. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
But
thank
I will
God.
say, I make jokes about it all the time, but most of the things that women do that we're taught, will make you better are in their own way torture. I cannot walk in heels.
Mhm.
That kills my freaking feet. I've seen some beautiful shoes and I've tried to wear them, but I can't. It hurts. Really long nails. Like I've had nails on for cosplays and such, and then I can't even use my phone. I'm like disabled. I can no longer function as a human being because I'm wearing these pretty nails.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, like, you get to the whole thing and, like, she's perfectly fine, like,
Was she though? Was she? I mean,
well,
the
I
girl
mean,
cracked. The girl full on
oh, I mean,
cracked.
well, I mean, like, physically. Physically, she was perfectly fine to start with, and then the pressure of everything, like, makes her, like, fucking, her mind disintegrate,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
it's a
And
lot.
one of the things I actually kind of appreciated, Cinderella was a little heavy.
I like that. I also like since we mentioned Monster High earlier, I do not know why. I just watched these 2 live action movies. I logged them on Letterboxd and they on average get less than 2 stars, a lot of 1 stars, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" One, they're TV fucking movies, guys. The production value is going to be low. When I was a kid, I loved the TV movies and stuff. I love that Generation X movie we got when we were kids. The Marvel one. It was on TV. Love it.
Those
Low
types of movies.
production
Got it,
value,
got it,
but
got it, got it.
it's a TV movie and you should know that going in. But I feel like it's another one of those things people just hate on because it's for little girls. Like the songs were good, the choreography was good, the costumes were good. On top of that, they had girls of different races, different body types, which is good because the dolls are only the one body type.
Yeah, the dolls are only the one.
But
Yeah.
I thought that was really good. And it was about embracing how you are different and how you are individual. And I think that's a really great message for teenagers of any gender.
Yeah. It was, I think the weirdness comes into it's these were Nickelodeon flicks.
Yeah. Like
Ah.
Nickelodeon has them now.
And
But people hate it. I don't
they
know
were
why.
it was directed by Todd Holland.
Yeah. He also did some stuff back in the day. What did he do? Can't remember. But I thought they were really cute. I mean, they're not like gonna blow your mind. Like I said, they're on a TV movie budget, but for what they are, they're really cute. Kid Me, that would have been like my favorite movie. Granted, Kid Me cannot be trusted. Her favorite movie was Supergirl. We cannot trust her. I've rewatched this movie, and young Gory did me wrong.
Hey. Hey. Supergirl is not that bad. It ain't that great, but it ain't that bad.
It's a gooder movie, dude. That's what it is.
It's what?
As you would say, it's a gooder movie.
It's a gooder movie. Yeah, as long as you're willing to go with whatever stupid thing is on the screen, there's nothing wrong with Supergirl. Now, if you're looking for, why is this happening? Okay, you're kind of out of luck there.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, as a kid, I really just wanted to see young girls or even just other kids doing stuff because I was a kid. So, like, I loved Monster Squad. I loved the Halloween movies with Danielle Harris. I loved Tommy Jarvis, Kid Tommy Jarvis in the Friday the 13th because they were other kids and they were cool. But especially if it was a girl, like Supergirl doing something badass, I ate that shit up just because it's cool. Like, movies, they are, like, we talked about how movies are therapy, but movies are also fantasy. And you can explore these different worlds and explore things that you've always wanted to do through film. And I think some things like Buffy the Vampire Slayer can be both, where it's a combination of that therapy, working through stuff, but also fantasy.
I have to ask, have you seen any of Ethan Cohen's disaster lesbian crime movies?
Oh gosh, no. What is, okay.
Okay.
Ethan Cohen?
Ethan Cohen right now, I think he's working on the
Oh,
third
he
one
just did Honey
currently.
Don't and
Honey
Driveway
Don't
Dolls.
and Driveway Dolls.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen either one. Are they good?
they're really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically, imagine. Okay, Driveway Dolls. Imagine it's like imagine the Big Lebowski, but it's two lesbians.
Okay.
Honey
I'm game.
Don't is a little bit more like Raising Arizona.
I like Raising Arizona.
Yeah, I mean you can tell it's one half of the Coen brothers.
Is it a
Definitely.
murder mystery?
De-
I'm just going by the poster
they're
here.
crime comedies,
Okay.
which is the best way to say it. There are murders. There is sometimes a mystery, but that's not usually what the plot is about.
Do you like bizarre lesbian crime movies? Have you seen Love Lies Bleeding?
Yes, I have seen Love Lies Bleeding.
The ending of that movie is such a trip, dude.
It's
I was like, what the
amazing.
fuck am I watching? But I loved it.
Yeah, that was the one with
Kristen Stewart?
Kristen Stewart. Yeah,
From Twilight?
from Twilight. Yeah, Big Lebowski, two lesbians. Yeah, Driveway Dolls.
Yeah, the chat's excited about that.
Yeah, that's Driveway Dolls. Also, if you want to see
Yeah, I'm
the
game.
young actress from The Substance get finger banged by Aubrey Plaza, that's
Okay.
Honey Don't.
Yeah, she is what is it? I'm gonna look it up because I can't remember. She's Andy McDowell's daughter.
Oh, really?
Yes. Something Qualley? What is her first name?
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm
I'm
terrible
not
at
sure
remembering
either.
people's names. Yeah, Margaret Qualley. She's Andy McDowell's daughter. Multiplicity.
God. Yeah, they're both really good movies, and he's apparently working on a third one.
Yeah, Substance was
he-
really good. So I really liked her in that. I'm kind of bummed because she was supposed to be in Victorian Psycho, and she is perfect for that. And now they're going with Micah Monroe, who I think Micah Monroe is extremely talented, but I feel like Margaret Qualley would pull off the humor of Victorian Psycho better. But I mean, I'm still down to watch it. If you haven't read the book, it's a relatively short novel. It's a lot like a female Patrick Bateman in Victorian times. It's messed up, but just like if you've read American Psycho, how it's kind of a commentary on yuppie culture and the 80s consumerism, this is a lot of a commentary on like Victorian culture. To illustrate my point, I will give one example from the book. Our main character, she is a nanny or like a governess for this very rich family. And she does kill people and stuff. She only does it when she has a good reason to. But at one point, she does accidentally kill the baby, which is pretty dark. But then she just goes down to like a less affluent area and takes a baby and replaces it. And you're thinking, this is never going to fucking work. It works. They have no idea it's not their baby. It looks nothing like their baby. But they spend so little time with their baby who they just have a governess raise that they can't even tell.
Right.
Which I thought was a good commentary on that society.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. So the movie's very tongue-in-cheek, and I mean, it's gonna probably... It's brutal. Like I just told you, there's infant death, so, you know, trigger warning, but... Or the book, anyway. So hopefully the movie's good. Hey, Ariel, what's up? But that's one that's getting an adaptation. There's some really good books that are getting adaptations. One I'm really excited about that I think is going to just make people shit their pants if they do it well is Incidents Around the House. Did you read that?
No, I've not.
It's so good. If you can, listen to the audiobook. The audiobook narrator is perfect because the narrator's a little girl, and she has this entity in her closet that she calls Other Mommy that's got like this long neck that comes out, and she keeps asking, can I live inside your heart? You know, and her parents are so self-involved. They don't even know what's going on with this girl. and it gets really, really dark and really, really scary. And what's wonderful about it is I feel like so many times when people watch haunted house movies or possession movies and such, they're like, well, go to a metaphysical expert, get an exorcism, get out of the house. And this book really tackles what that would actually look like, where the lack of help you're going to get, either A, because these kind of people
Yeah.
are really hard to find, B, because they've never actually dealt with anything like this. You know, like they go to a friend's house and the demon follows them there, and it can range in size, and it's just terrifying. It's gonna, oh, if they do a good job with it, it's gonna be so scary.
I have this. There was a series of short stories that I kick around my head every once in a while about an exorcist, but he is not. He lives in America, but he is not a priest. He is instead a Taoist shaman
Okay.
from like China.
I
From
love
like
that.
China.
A lot of different cultures have exorcisms, and yet we keep seeing the Catholic ones. I like that
Yeah,
we
you
had
keep seeing the
possession
Catholic
that was a
ones,
Jewish
and
one.
yeah, and
I've seen. I saw a Mexican one that had like brujas, but this sounds cool. What's this one called?
yeah. This is unwritten.
Okay.
It's an unwritten series of unwritten stories in my head.
Oh, you're coming, dude. Write this.
Yeah. And they're supposed to be. They're intended to be like horror comedies. And the structure is kind of like The Blind Swordsman. You know, like, oh, you never seen The Blind Swordsman movies? Oh, okay. Well, the whole idea is that guy comes into town. You know, the man with no name comes into town, or whoever, and there's all this shit happening around, and the main character is not really the main character. He's just the guy that solves the problem and then moves on. You know, very much like High Plains Drifter. High Plains Drifter and the like the Ronin samurai stories influenced each other a lot. So they're essentially the same plot structures. You know,
like a Django type thing.
No.
No.
Because Django's absolutely the main character of that story.
Oh, I got what you're saying. Okay.
You know, this is more. Have you seen Yojimbo?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. So you haven't seen a lot of samurai movies.
Send me a list and I'll watch them. I have not
Yeah,
seen a lot
okay.
of samurai movies. I've seen
Yeah.
a few that Danny has had me watch, and off the top of my head, I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, okay. Well,
Danny would know.
yeah. The common way you do a samurai movie is the samurai comes into town. The town has some sort of weird thing that is going on. It's big trouble. And in the Zatoichi movies, he's blind, so he's always walking around with a stick, but the stick has a sword hidden in it. And he's like a master swordsman. But he hangs around town. He's in the background of a lot of scenes, and you know he's there, but he doesn't do much until about the halfway point. At which point he springs into action because he's seen enough. He knows what needs to. He knows who needs to die.
Okay.
And so these stories are supposed to follow that structure where, you know, we're focusing on like a haunted house in the middle of Vermont. You know, like kids being possessed, husband's been killed by the ghost. You know, no one knows what to do.
Something like The Wailing? Like The Wailing? Something like that?
Yeah, kind of like The Wailing. And then this guy shows up, you know, and he claims to be like, you know, he claims to be an exorcist, but no one knows what to do because he's in America and he comes from the Eastern tradition. And the Eastern tradition, a lot of the Eastern tradition comes down to this. Shut the fuck up, ghost. Yeah, shut the fuck up, ghost. Smack him around.
Gosh, there's that other movie. I think it's also by the same person who did The Wailing, The Medium, that had an exorcism.
The Medium is a great movie. That one is dark.
Yeah.
That one is dark because like they go to great pains to tell you, oh no, there's a difference between a ghost and a demon.
Yeah. And what I
you
think
know.
is really interesting, and you probably have more insight into this than I do, with a lot of Eastern possession and
Hmm.
ghost type movies, like they have a really hard time wrapping themselves around like our Western ones where there's a solution. There is somebody who will help you. They will get
Yeah.
rid of the ghost. They will bust the ghost. They will exorcise the ghost. In the entity, they froze the ghost. In American movies, we can usually take care of the ghost. Whereas in Eastern ones, you look at something like The Grudge and they're like, no, get rid of the ghost? What do you mean get rid of the ghost?
Don't get rid of the ghost.
There is
Burn
no
the
getting
house down. You
yeah,
know.
get the fuck away from the ghost, but you can't get
Yeah.
rid of it. It's bigger than us. We don't understand it. It's just a matter of getting the fuck out of its way.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
will destroy
Sometimes that's
anything
the
it
solution.
touches. So like the
Yeah.
house is now no good. Like fuck the house.
Fuck the house. It's just evil.
Yeah.
You know. Don't live there. You know. What do we do? Move.
Or put the spirit into a tiny frog.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, if you
Actually,
watch Cabin in the
Happy
Woods.
Frogs.
I was like, I thought that was really good too, because in Cabin in the Woods, because they really are looking at the genres, and they're like, yeah, normally like they tend to be successful because if you look at a lot of those movies, the ghosts tend to win, except for that one time they put it in a happy frog.
Yeah, occasionally you get a Happy Frog ending.
Most of the time, the endings of paranormal movies from the East are pretty dark.
Yeah. Although the thing I think is there's a really good series of them that came out of Taiwan called The Tag Along.
Tag along?
The Tag Along. Yeah, it's about a ghost that just follows people.
Kind of like It Follows?
Kind of like It Follows, except you didn't necessarily do anything wrong. You just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
You know, I've noticed that in a lot of the movies I've watched and books I've read, it is a lot of you didn't do anything wrong. You were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Whereas in American culture, particularly, you are often being punished for something. You've done something.
Yeah, you did something.
The one exception that is honestly kind of a very Western movie that came from the East is Shudder. Where they did something wrong and they're being punished.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's like The Grudge. You were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. You didn't do anything.
Yeah. The transgression is that you were somewhere you shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all it takes. You know, it's also important to note that like Eastern cultures, particularly like, you know, the Chinese, very different attitude towards ghosts and spirits. It's just assumed that they're around. And it's so common. Nobody
Like a yokai, right? Or is that
well, that's Japanese, but that's another example. You know, those are other examples of it. Like they're just sort of assumed. Just normal people just assume ghosts exist.
You know, that's kind of interesting because it is a lot of how I grew up, which I did grow up in an American Air Force base, but my mom's English. Half my family's English. I've lived in a lot of towns, and the town I'm from is Ipswich, which we have a couple Ipswiches in America. There's one in Australia, but it basically translates to like a witch town. And so we have a history of persecution and stuff there. We have like a dunk tank that's in the center of town. But one thing that is definite about Ipswich, and that was one of the last witch trials in England, was in my town. But what's interesting is it would be stranger to find somebody there who doesn't believe in ghosts. Most people believe in ghosts in the town I'm from. I can't vouch for the whole country, but I can say for Ipswich, it's common knowledge. There was an article in the newspaper. This isn't a spiritual rag. This is the town newspaper, and it's not a small town. I mean, it's not as big as London, but it's a sizable city. Right. There's this family, and I remember reading it because my dad drove me by their house because they didn't live too far from us. You could find them easily because they had what looked like a big shark in their roof. It looked like a shark crashed into their roof. It was decor in the house, so you could easily find their house. But they were in the paper because they were talking about how they have a ghost that helps take care of their children. And it was an article about how to deal with ghosts in your home and how you can make it a beneficial relationship for everybody. So because the ghost had something to do, it made the children's beds. It helped take care of things around the house, and the ghost was not a problem, and they lived in harmony with them. It was almost like a Dear Abby type article, like how to deal with ghosts in your house. And this is in the newspaper, and this is just the world we live in. It's just an example.
Yeah. There was a great there's a great like indigenous TikTok that I love that also describes like kind of the Chinese way of seeing spirits and ghosts, which is this one guy. You just hear this one guy going, "Ah, ah, demons are after me, brother."
So
And another guy goes, "Those aren't demons. Those are your ancestors. They're just being jerks. Tell them to call back later."
so I don't have the obviously the background and stuff that you do, you being
Mm-hmm.
Taiwanese, so you can
Mm-hmm.
probably help enlighten me on some things here.
Sure.
I've seen a lot of Korean, well, South Korean movies, Chinese, and Hong Kong, which those are a little different. And
Yeah, they're
then
a little different because they're more specifically urban because it's Hong
yeah,
Kong.
but they also have a lot of like European influence.
Yes.
And then Japanese films. And so to me, I don't see a lot of difference between them. But what would you say are the differences in beliefs about ghosts? Like, or is there any differences in those Eastern countries?
Yeah. In China, ghosts are they're not things that you want to displease. They're things you don't want to displease, because they're your ancestors. So you probably have a familial bond with whatever like ghost is around. Um, they can still be very scary, but there is a lot of like, oh, that's great grand auntie. Hey, great grand auntie, stop throwing the dishes. Like that kind of stuff. That's a little more common in China. In Taiwan, there is a lot of shamanism. So, particularly around like the celestial animals, like particularly tiger. Oh,
Did
did
I
we
do
lose
something?
Gory? I think we lost Gory. Oh no.
What'd I do?
Um,
You can't see me?
oh, we're back.
Did I do something?
You blipped out for a bit there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see it on my end. I
Oh,
think I'm
okay. No,
having.
it doesn't look like it looks like it was only me. Okay, I was in the middle of
Okay,
Taiwan.
I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Taiwan is very animistic. Like there are temples and spirits
I'm closing some
everywhere.
programs just to make sure I'm not
You
messing it up.
know, and some of the bigger shamanic traditions surround spirits like great grandfather tiger and things like that. Um, to the Taiwanese, there's always someone to go to solve your spirit problem.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of temples, so you hire
So,
yourself.
like the medium, like that movie, is that kind of what you're talking about?
It's close to that.
Or even
It
in the Wailing where they went to the shaman.
Yeah,
Is that what you're talking about?
yeah, it's closer to the Wailing.
Okay.
There's always a sorcerer or some sort of Taoist priest or a shaman that you can go to help
Can
either
they
pass the spirit
eliminate the
or
spirit
deal
or
with
just
it.
evict
Oh
them?
no, you don't eliminate the spirit. You get it to leave
Rehouse
people
them?
alone. Yeah, you either
Like
rehouse
spiders in
them
your
or
house?
yep,
That's
yep,
amazing.
yep.
So that's
Sometimes
a
you got
little
to
bit
make them a
different
little
than I
house.
guess what we see in a lot of the Japanese films where it's not your house anymore, you need to get the fuck out.
Well, in Japan, Japan is much more xenophobic.
Okay.
Like that's the first thing you got to understand about Japan. Japan is very xenophobic, and
I
so
know a little bit just because I used to be a teacher for kids in China and Japan, and you hear things, but obviously,
yeah, yeah. So the main difference spiritually between Japan and Taiwan is in Taiwan the old world it can be is usually beneficent. It's usually there to help you. The shaman is there to help you. The sorcerer is there to help you, although they consort with dark forces. So, can't always trust them.
yeah, they seem like
In
kind of tricksters. Like if you
Japan,
look at like the movie The Wailing,
yeah,
I don't have as much to draw from.
yeah. That the guy who comes in, the sorcerer in that one, yeah, he is. The thing that's cool about that one, about the Wailing, is that he's clearly practicing Taoist sorcery. But
What's
if you know
Taoist
anything about
sorcery?
the Taoist sorcery,
Dude,
Taoists.
fill me in.
Oh, geez.
I know
Okay,
nothing.
the Taoists are from a what do you call it? Mythological folklore. From a folkloric
I know a
perspective.
little bit about Taoism, but the sorcery part, that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah. They're the ones that come in and exorcise your ghosts. They come in with a big sword made of coins and red wire. Swing it around and chant things that make the ghosts go away, and
Yeah, I've
those
seen that
chants
in some
always come down
movies.
to out ghost. Out ghost, get out of here. Like, you're not
So
wanted.
it's kind of like their version of the power of Christ compels you.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is.
Get the fuck
Very,
out.
very much so. But it's considered part and parcel of
So
what the sorcerer does.
for the Taoist sorcerers,
That's why
do
they're
they
sometimes
have
referred to as
have,
exorcists.
like with Catholic priests in the movies anyway, they have to
Mhm.
have faith. Or even when you're dealing with vampires in the cross, you got to have faith, like if you're quoting Fright Night. So with the
Mhm.
Taoist sorcerers, do they have to have strong faith, or do they just have to know what to do?
They have to have the power.
The power?
The power, whatever that means.
The power.
Like whatever that means, they have to have the power.
The power. Now you're making me think of like Transformers the movie. We got the touch.
With touch.
We got the power.
Yeah. And that's basically it, because like this is a service that they're expected to perform. It's not like in the West where it's like, oh, I must consult the Pope to see if we can use this ritual. No. Among the Taoists, the ritual is known. You know what to do. The family hired you to fucking come and clear this ghost out.
Okay, so they are basically like conduits of this power. So they are trusted.
Yeah. It's basically take Taoism and now add a lot of hoodoo on top of it.
All right.
That's basically it. They are rumored to be able to capture ghosts in these little jars. They are also, some of them are rumored to have familiars, which are ghosts that they have captured and now serve them.
Okay. Is this kind of stuff going to be in your story? Because I'm loving this.
Yeah. No, this is.
I need to read these. I want signing up for beta reading, please.
Yeah. If someone has a hex cast on them, like a curse cast on them, you get one of these guys to come in and try to break the curse.
That's really cool. There was a short animated film I saw like this, and they had a ghost, and yeah, it's making a lot more sense to me now. But yeah, I'll have to remember the name of it and send it to you. But it was really good.
So in Taiwan, you hire an exorcist, like they're expected to be.
What are they called? They're not called exorcists, right? Or
I forget what they're. The translation is exorcist.
Okay.
I don't know the actual word. Now Japan, little different, because Japan is much more afraid of its folkloric past.
They really pride themselves on being very modern, right?
Yeah, exactly. And as a result, that creates like a fear of the way things used to be.
I kind of feel like we have that in America too.
Oh, we totally do. We totally do. Although for us, it's the backwater.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where the hillbillies are and all that stuff. Yeah, for Europe, it's the pagan past. For America, it's hillbillies. And for Japan, it's abandoned towns that didn't modernize. Old towns that didn't modernize.
It's like this fear of the old ways.
Fear of the old ways. And the old ways are almost always like Shinto. Because that was their... that was the big religion. That was the big thing up until like the end of the Second World War. Was Shinto. Maybe if they hadn't tried to be the state religion, they would still be popular, but they got involved with Japanese imperialism, and so most of those practices were abandoned. So because they were abandoned, they got a creepy reputation. And that's why in so many of these like stories, there's stories set in Japan, you're always going into this like abandoned town where a terrible curse killed everybody. Because a lot of those places, um, in reality, were simply evacuated and never repopulated. Because of the war.
Mm-hmm.
The Americans are bombing. Oh God, let's get out of here. But it does leave all of these ghost towns, and those ghost towns are heavily.
Do you think that's their way of maybe explaining the violence, or is it that the violence left a mark on that place? Kind of like when they talked about The Grudge, when something really horrible happens.
More like the violence leaves a mark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more like the violence leaves a mark, and sometimes, and sometimes those Shinto rituals are really brutal. Like the actual Shinto rituals, some of them are really brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very easy to turn them into, it's very easy to demonize, to make it into something that's terrifying, because it's, the ghost in the Shinto robes is kind of like in many ways, the Japanese equivalent of like, the evil looking old nun. It just represents
the one from,
that type.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 2.
Yeah. Yeah, but it symbolizes that sort of similar thing. That's like religious anxiety and a fear that the past is going to come and bite you in the ass somehow. Korea is interesting because the first is that they're heavily into geomancy.
Okay.
Geomancy being like, the the energy of the elements. Fire, wood, stone,
some like
the river.
Last Airbender stuff here.
Yeah, Last Airbender stuff. It's really, really into that. And their primary one is fire. Because
and we have that in Wicca and in a lot of other pagan religions.
Oh, not like the Koreans.
Okay.
Because, and here's why. There's a reason why, which is most people don't realize this, because we don't think of it this way. But Korea is a volcano worship. Comes from volcano worship.
Okay.
Because there's this big volcano there that we don't think about because we're Westerners and we don't live in Korea.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. We don't think about it. But that worship of fire and of the volcano itself is
probably from the fear of it too.
Really intrinsic to Korean culture.
Okay.
If you've ever seen, the Werner Herzog did this great documentary on North Korea where he discovered this. He's like, why is this volcano everywhere in all the pictures, and why is everything, and the color red is very prominent. Like red is prominent in China, but
in
it doesn't
China
feel,
it's good luck.
Yeah, in China it's good luck. In the Koreas, it's literally like, no, that's like the judgment of God. That's the judgment of heaven. The volcano blue. And it just changes everything.
Like a power that needs to be feared and respected.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Like some Old Testament Christian shit.
Yeah. And the South Koreans have modernized, but their form of geomancy is still very popular. And they are recognized and they are consulted when like you enter certain areas. Oh, there's the spooky wood. Well, we better get a geomancer around here. Because they'll know where the spirits are and where they are not. There's a great movie that deals with this concept specifically, called, it's not The Wailing, but it has a similar, Exhume.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
That's a Korean movie, and that's all about Korean mysticism. Like the reason that they, like, you'll notice in that movie they burn everything. The woman is like, in front of this huge elaborate fire, and she's going into making these crazy sounds. Yeah, it's volcano worship. The same thing. You see similar things in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because you're worshiping a volcano. Volcanoes are very volatile.
And sometimes unpredictable.
Oh,
particularly
extremely
in like,
unpredictable.
before modern times.
Oh yeah, yeah. And it leaves a psychic mark on the people who live there.
I mean, can you imagine experiencing that? Like if you survived, what you would have seen?
Yeah, you would have seen the destruction, possibly seen the
That's
destruction
where
of everything
that's
engulfed in lava
what
and
I think is
fire.
important about why we need to watch movies from other cultures and from different kinds of people, because
Mm-hmm.
horror movies really explore fear. And so if you only watch, like, you're afraid of subtitles, and so you only watch Western horror movies, you're only going to be delving into familiar fears, things that you are familiar with because you're American. But if you look at something
Right.
that's Korean or something, they're experiencing a completely different world than you. And so for people who are like, all horror movies are the same, I would say
Not really.
check out some from some different countries or from some different kinds of filmmakers. Like a
Yeah.
filmmaker who's trans is going to tell you a very different horror story than somebody like
Oh
Jordan
yes.
Peele, who's telling you a very different horror story than somebody like Coraline Fargate. Like, these are all very different people, and the things that they're afraid of and that they're experiencing are different. And so if you think all horror movies are the same, I think you need to try diversifying what you're watching.
I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. Oh, but for my money, some of the most fun of the Asian like evil shit comes from Southeast Asia.
Okay.
Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, the Philippines. You
I
know,
have
because
seen a lot
they
of insane movies out of Thailand. Like
yeah,
a lot of the
because
ones
for them
where they're not on
it's the
DVD, they're
jungle.
weird little things. I've seen some
Yeah,
really
because
messed
for
up
them
ones.
it's the wilderness. The dense jungle, because it's right near that equator. So like it's all this stuff. You go in there, you're gonna meet, you'll see the monogonal, and their monsters are always like really beautifully grotesque.
Like
It's like she's a
Indonesian
woman
horror
who are
films. Have you seen?
yeah yeah. You ever seen like Mystics of Bali?
Yeah.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
like
yeah.
the
That stuff
floating
is
head and this. I love that.
yeah. That's the Penanggalan.
Or like, what
Um,
about like Lady Terminator? You have to have the staff to like
yeah,
deal with the
yeah,
snake thing that's in her cooter.
yep.
It's
Yep.
amazing. I
Yeah.
love
That's
Indonesian
That's
horror
Southeast
films so
Asian.
much.
That's Southeast Asian horror.
It gets weird.
Southeast Asian horror is very, 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 very body horror.
That
Things are always
uh,
cut in half and trailing with
it's
entrails trailing
so
behind
hard
them
to
and
find
shit.
a lot of them. There is one company, Mondo Cinema, I think. They've released a few of them on DVD. But if you guys are really looking for really obscure stuff like The Beheaded Man, which is a cop that gets a criminal's head put onto his body, and then at night he goes out and does like crazy stuff, but then the day he's trying to like stop. It's insane, notably because it takes a break halfway through to kind of recreate the Opposites Attract music video from Paula Abdul, but it's got Raphael from the Ninja Turtles and the Pink Panther in it. This movie is so balls crazy. You kind of have to see. I think there's a version on YouTube, but if you want the really obscure shit, guys, go look up DVD Lady. Just look up DVD Lady on Google. That guy's got everything. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Southeast Asia is wild. Their movies are wild.
why do you think that is? Why are they so much more like
The jungle.
wild card?
The jungle.
Okay.
There's so much shit in the jungle. Like you're always coming across a dead body, a bloated corpse, a giant snake, a what the fuck ever.
And they have so many too. A while ago, I tried to do this. I created like my own horror challenge where I was going to try to watch a movie from every country in the world. And strangely, I mean, not strangely if you know how their government works, China was really, really hard to find some. I ended up watching Corpse Mania, but it's really hard to find a lot of Chinese horror
Yeah,
movies.
it is. It is. They have a really big taboo against skeletons.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
Indonesia,
Oh,
much.
Indonesia's got a ton of them.
Oh, they are just pouring out with them. It's like, which one am I gonna watch? Whereas with China, like I was really scratching trying to find something that was purely Chinese.
Yeah.
But Corpse Mania was good.
Yeah, you've seen The Eye, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I forget. Is that Thai or Indonesian?
It's the Eye is from Hong Kong, I believe, isn't it?
The Eye's from.
Let
I'd
me
have to look it up. I could have sworn it was in Indonesian. You know.
I don't think it's Indonesian, but I'm gonna look it up just to be sure. It's by the Pang brothers. It is from. It says it's Chinese. Oh, it's Thai, but it's Chinese.
Thai, but
Oh,
a
well, yeah.
Chinese release.
So that's why. So it is. It's from Hong Kong, China.
Oh,
But
okay.
languages the languages in it are Cantonese, Mandarin, and Thai.
Oh,
So
okay.
that kind of makes sense. I had like a lot of students, and even though my students were in China, like the variety of languages, like there's modern Chinese, then there's old Chinese, then there's Cantonese.
He's in the Mandarin.
Yeah. Like I was trying to learn some stuff, and they're just like, "Teacher Haley, good luck with that."
Yeah. The different dialects of Chinese it'll drive you crazy. That's why they subtitle everything. You know, because it's all the same written language.
Kind of find it interesting because in England, a lot of the dialects and words that are used, it really varies by location. But with China, it seemed almost by age, like it's going to be more traditional Chinese with very old people.
Oh yeah. There's also
but
an
then
age
Cantonese
thing
and Mandarin,
going on
that is more by a location.
Yeah. It's very confusing.
Very
It's
confusing.
It's not simple. You know.
So yeah, the Eye. I mean, I think the Eye is a little more like Hong Kong, but I'd already seen that one, so I didn't use that for my challenge. I had a hard time.
I wish I could remember. Oh no! I already talked about that one. Oh, did you see Incantation?
Yes. I
Yeah,
really like that one.
That was Taiwanese.
Okay, so
You know,
what do you think makes it specifically like Taiwanese?
oh,
That's something I'm familiar with Taiwan.
yeah,
China.
Taiwan horror and Chinese horror have a lot in common, but the Taiwanese have a lot fewer taboos about showing shit.
Okay.
You know, one of the things, for example, like one of the things that China has trouble with is zombies, because you can't show any bone. Taiwan don't give a shit. Taiwan don't give a shit. They're just like, oh yeah, skeletons coming out of graves. You know, that's not a problem. But the main difference is in the fact that in Taiwan, you've got this very, very, very modern
cat.
You got this very, very, very modern civilization right next to very old ones. Excuse me. It's right next to very old ones. And so, but it's not like in the past, it's right now. So the horrors of Taiwan in Taiwan generally revolve around either overcrowding. It's a small island. It's a relatively small island. And going into that older space and doing something which is taboo in that area, but you didn't necessarily know.
So would it be safe to say that, because the reason we don't have a lot of Chinese horror movies is because they're like Steven Spielberg used to be with Aliens. Like they're just afraid of making movies about ghosts and stuff because they're afraid of them, right?
Yes.
Whereas with the Taiwanese movies, they're like afraid of them, but they kind of want to poke that wound and explore it.
Yeah, they want to go for it, you know. So that's like the big difference in like their movie making. Like a lot of Chinese horror movies are Taiwanese. A lot of them used to be Hong Kong.
Well, and
too.
even the ones I've seen, like I said, Corpse Mania, that's about a serial killer. It's not really anything really supernatural about it.
Yeah. There was one supernatural Chinese horror movie that I really liked called Recycle.
I haven't seen that.
That's a movie best gone in blind.
Okay. Then I will go in blind.
It's just called Recycle. They start talking if there's
Wait
a young
second.
Chinese girl
No, I'm
writing
thinking
a
of
book.
Remember. Okay, never mind. I was like,
Yeah.
No, I saw one called Remember with like body parts, but I haven't seen Recycle.
Yeah, there's Remember and then there is Recycle. Those are they're two different movies. Remember was about abortion, right?
Remember was like they found body parts and they were trying to solve the crime. It was
Oh, are you talking about Memories of a Murder?
No, this came out like not too long ago. It's Re/Member. It was a Japanese movie.
Re/Member. Oh, it's the time loop one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is different. Yeah, it's the movie I'm talking about is Re-Cycle.
Re-Cycle.
Oh, I forgot. It's from the directors of The Eye.
Oh, well, that's cool. Have you ever seen the I2? I think there might be an I3 too.
There is an I3. I haven't seen I2 or I3.
I2 was actually really good, and I was something that I wasn't really familiar with. Because again, like this, guys, if you want to see some original horror, go outside your comfort zone. But what's really interesting about the I2 is there's this woman who is obsessed with this guy. Can't remember how she's affiliated with him, but she's obsessed with him, and he's married, and he wants not anything to do with her, but she is pregnant with his baby. And essentially the belief in this movie is that ghosts crowd around pregnant women because those are bodies that don't have souls. So a ghost will want to go into your baby and possess it. And so it's really creepy. So she does try to kill herself, and she's not successful, but then she can now all of a sudden has the ability to see ghosts everywhere. And so she sees ghosts following her around because she's pregnant. They want to possess her baby. But she sees it around other pregnant women too. And it's just really creepy. Whenever there's a pregnant woman, they're surrounded by like 5 ghosts who are waiting in line like it's the next, Switch console to hop into that baby so they can have a body. And I thought it was really disturbing, but really fascinating. And for a sequel, it was really good. It's not really anything like the first one, aside from just someone who can see ghosts. But it was
someone
really
who can see ghosts. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh, Danny says you rock.
Thank you, Danny. Thank you.
You are one of the more metal friends I have.
Really?
I mean, yeah.
Oh.
You're pretty metal, dude. You and Guro. I don't think people know that. People are aware that Guro is super metal, but Guro is super metal.
Oh, yeah, I would consider him a bigger metal. He's even more of a metal fan than I am. Mm-hmm. He has a much greater knowledge of metal than I do, definitely. I tend to just rock out to it. Like he has data stored in his head.
Yeah, we've got to have him on my new streams.
Oh,
he
totally
can be kind of shy, but I'm gonna ask him.
Yeah, yes, but he'll talk to you. He knows you. It's
a safe place here. We just talk about bullshit that's related to horror.
Yeah. That bullshit.
What's the show about? Train. I don't know. My friends come on and we talk about spooky stuff. That's the show.
Yeah, that's the show. That's the show, kids.
I'm gonna be like the Jimmy Kimmel of horror stuff.
Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta deal with this cat situation.
Guys, look at this beautiful specimen over here. This is Brock calling you, just being
doggy.
A stud.
Wait, is that cat or a dog?
That's Brock. He's a dog.
Okay.
And then we got tarantulas over here. Poe.
Okay. All right, kitty.
And is anybody out today?
We're gonna do this.
And then I don't know if you guys can see, but this little black thing there, that is Pipkin, who is God's favorite boy. As so written about in Ray Bradbury's The Halloween Tree. Is that Gomez?
Let's show yourself on camera.
Hi, baby. Who is that?
Fat kitty.
It's a beautiful kitty. And then there's Cuddles, but she's not out. They're tarantulas. We have tarantulas and a doggo in here currently. And some jumping spiders. All of the creatures. Dun dun dun. Now, this is when, because we've been talking about spooky stuff. It's like one of those things, like messing with the Ouija board. You open a door, you leave it open for things to come in. Now that we're talking about it, we're going to see some spooky stuff in Jack's place. Things are going to move around, and he's going to come back and
All
be
right,
completely oblivious.
I'm back.
No, don't tell him what you saw.
Oh.
Hi, Jack.
Hey, Gory.
I just was
How you
saying
doing?
that I think because you left and we've been talking about spooky stuff, like I would not be surprised if things started moving around your house, because I feel like it's one of those things you talk about it and then it happens.
Oh man, maybe I should have a video overlay that I put on whenever I leave, and like
That's genius.
like,
you should do that.
Ooh.
That's the most genius thing I've ever heard, and like you need to do that. Oh, what? Yeah, you absolutely need to do that. So when
Yeah,
are,
maybe-
how
maybe
far are
even
you
get
along
it-
with these
maybe-
stories you're writing?
Oh, not very far at all.
Dude, can I read these
No,
when they're done?
only if you can read when they're on paper. You can.
Okay, well, hurry up and put them on paper, dude. You know, make some time from streaming and making a game
Making
and all the other
games.
stuff and having friends and marriage and cats. Make time to create things that I can read. Because, you know, my feelings.
You should actually. You
Just
should check
messing
out
with you when you get
my
to it,
friend.
do it.
My friend Afi Mustafa. Afi Limburg
Okay.
is excuse me.
You okay?
Coming out with her second novel.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm working on mine, and I keep saying this is the year I'm going to get it done. And then last year, my landlord sold the house, and we had to move after a year. And then this year we had to. But I think,
Oh, geez. Are you still in Washington?
Yep. But now I'm in a slightly different city.
You're in a slightly different Washington.
Okay, so remember I was in buttfuck nowhere? Now I'm in
Yeah.
East buttfuck nowhere.
Oh, okay. Not central buttfuck nowhere.
Nope. There's West buttfuck nowhere and there's East buttfuck nowhere, and I crossed the river and went east.
So what do you like? Is that closer to Tacoma or?
Fuck no, dude. That's a big city shit. I live in the center of Washington. Like whenever people talk about coffee, bad weather, all that stuff, that's on the other side of the mountains. On my side of the mountains, it's a lot of mountains, it's hot. It gets like over 100 here in the summer. It's not
How
like
long
Seattle
is it
at
to
all.
drive to Seattle?
To Seattle, it's about 3 hours.
3 hours? Okay.
Mhm.
All right. I'm starting to get an idea of what buttfuck nowhere means. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're the one who said last time I explained this to you that it was buttfuck nowhere. And I was like, well,
Yeah.
that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Spring Plush
Oh.
wants to know if we've seen The Omen or Children of the Corn. I have, in
Of
fact,
course.
seen both of them, and I've read Children of the Corn, but I have not read The Omen yet.
It's
I love The Omen,
I
by the
haven't
way.
read The Omen either.
That's actually...
Yeah. It's
it's-
all for you, Damien.
I just read The Exorcist, which The Exorcist came out before the movie.
Yeah.
The Omen, though the book is supposed to be very good, the book came out after the movie. It's a novelization, but it's supposed to be very, very good. But I love the Omen movie. That's for me a 5-star movie. I know a lot of people don't think so. I was really happy that Jericho put it in his top 5 because I think it's as good as The Exorcist and a lot of other just great horror films.
I got one question about The Omen.
All right, hit me.
Why did they give the jackal a headstone?
Well, I mean, that makes sense. So the reason why is the
Okay.
headstone's for the baby. The baby's supposed to be buried there. But it's
But
not.
instead the mother is buried there, and the
They
mother is a
disposed
jackal.
of the mom there and the baby they killed. So it's supposed to be the main guy, I can't remember his name right now, but his dead baby.
Right. But
it's
instead
not.
the jackal is buried there.
Well, they just disposed of it. It's in there
But
with
why bother to put it in the grave? Why not just put a regular ditch in the
I mean,
grave?
I don't know. To be respectful, maybe they were afraid of it. We've been
Could
talking a
be.
lot about people's superstitious stuff. Maybe they thought they had to give it a proper burial because it's demonic. You know what's really interesting? So here's something really interesting. I'm just finished reading The Exorcist, which is a surprisingly funny book. I know you guys know it's terrifying, and it is terrifying. It's surprisingly funny. William Peter Blatty, funny guy. Our kind of humor. Very, very sardonic. Love him. Anyway, he talks about Father Karras, whose first name is Damien, and Father Marin says it's a beautiful name. And he says the reason why it's a beautiful name is because it was named after a saint who lived on with a colony of lepers on an island, and he cared for them until he eventually succumbed to leprosy and died. And so he was like, that's such a beautiful name. It's kind of funny, though, that The Omen came out after The Exorcist, and they name the Antichrist Damien.
Damien.
And now, like, that's one of those names that you just can't name your kid Damien anymore. Even though, like, I guess it used to be this beautiful name with a lot of respect behind it. But now people just think, so you named your kid after the Antichrist.
I have a friend who had a roommate in college named Damien. And Damien was born intersexed, and he had silicone balls. And at some point he had them removed because, silicone is dangerous to have hanging around the body. But he kept them in a jar near his bedside, and when he got angry, he would grab it and shake it.
I mean, whatever works, man. That's awesome.
I'm just like imagining this guy yelling at my friend to clean up the bathroom while shaking his testicles.
Similar experience. I had my tonsils out when I was in my early 20s, and it had to be done like as an emergency thing because I used to get really bad tonsillitis to where they'd swell up, and eventually I had a strep throat so bad that my tonsils swelled to the point I couldn't breathe. So I had to go to the emergency room. So they were huge, and they had to remove them. And I mean, each of them was like the size of a ping pong ball. And I had them in a little jar, and I was like, well, can I keep them? Because they're kind of cool looking. And they're like, yeah, if you want to keep them, you can keep them, which is a lot nicer than the people who neutered my dogs. They were like, no, we feed those to hawks. I was like, God damn it. I would have kept that. At any rate, I had my tonsils, and then my cousin comes over, and he's like, what are those? I'm like, those are my tonsils. He's like, can I have them? I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm done being impressed by how cool they are. But he kept those in his freezer for like 5 years until eventually his girlfriend was like, what the fuck are these? Oh, Nancy.
Why do you have another woman's tonsils in your freezer?
His cousin?
Because, geez.
Yeah, he finally tossed them out.
Don't mean anything.
Tossed them out. So sad. I guess they got gross, even in the freezer. But yeah.
I'd be kind of waiting for them to come alive, like Belial and
you know something
Basket
really
Case.
Interesting. I've been reading this book, and again, it's just interesting to talk about different cultures, different belief systems, and it's where you get really interesting things. I'm reading a book called Monstrilio. Have you read that before?
No, can't say I have.
So it starts with a woman whose son has died, and her husband's grieving in the way, I guess, people kind of expect people to grieve. He cries and all that stuff. She doesn't really cry. She doesn't really know what to do. And they finally let her say goodbye to her child. And they're like, well, you can take something if you want. And I think they meant like hair or nails or something. She opens him up and takes out a piece of his lung. And the husband is just disgusted, and they try to make it work. But eventually she leaves and she goes back to Mexico where she's from. And someone tells her, because she has this piece, that there is a belief that you could feed that and it would grow into something. And she's like, well, will it grow into my child? They're like, no, it's going to grow into something else. And they tell her a story about how someone did that with their daughter, and she fed it, and it grew into this beautiful man. And they fell in love, and then they had a kid. And then eventually the town was so disturbed that they killed the woman and the man who grew from this piece of her daughter. But in the book, she has this piece of lung, and I'm not that far into it yet, but she starts feeding it, and it's going to grow into a monstrilio. Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
That's cool, dude.
Monstrilio heartfelt, bizarre, and unexpected.
It's a short book. I mean, it's a pretty short read, so you should check it out.
Huh.
I've been doing the audiobook for that one because I got the audiobook on like a deal a while ago. But yeah, it's not that long. It's pretty cool. You should check it out, dude. Little late night reading before you go to bed or an audiobook.
Huh.
It's like having a professional read you a bedtime story.
Dude, what is this?
What are you looking at now?
I'm now looking at like other books being recommended as I check out Monstrilio.
That's the other thing too. I think there's a
get
lot of things
distracted.
in books that like movies don't necessarily always know how to translate or whatever. But I mean, again, if you think all horror movies are the
Like
same, check
in
out
a book, you
books.
can get in a book. It's easier to get introspective.
Yeah.
You know, you just the words just go there. You know, in a movie, it's a little harder because you kind of want to make this distinction between what is real and what the character is thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're specifically fucking with that.
I think if it's something, metaphorical, something like the Babadook, a movie works really well. And like I said, Incidents Around the House with the Other Mommy, it's so visual that I was like, oh, this needs to be a freaking movie. This is going to be an amazing movie if they do it right. But some things like this, which is what Stephen King always calls books either innies or outies, meaning they explore like the internal world, or it's more of like monsters in the outer world.
Monsters, yeah.
But something like Monstrilio, I think it'd be really hard to adapt. But it's, again, if you are one of the people
Might
who
be
are
able to
like,
get
I'm
to the
tired of seeing the
emotional
same
core
thing
of
all the
it.
time, that's another place to dig in and find some stuff.
Yeah. I haven't read anything.
Dude, I have a book
haven't
club.
read fiction
You could
in a
read books
long
with
time.
the book club.
Oh, yeah, like I got time.
There's not that many of them. There's like 2 books a month.
Two-
Okay, start with Monstrilio. It's like 200 pages, my dude.
It takes me about a month to read a book.
Okay, we'll read Monstrilio and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, all right. I'll
Hi,
see what I
Bradley.
can do.
I think it's
Oh,
cool.
puppy.
Isn't he cute? He's so handsome.
He is.
He's so handsome. Oh, he's a good boy. He's a good boy.
So, I have to ask.
All right.
The horror child.
My child.
He's like your child.
The
He's like
spawn
18
of
now,
me,
right?
My loin fruit,
Yes.
as it were.
Yeah. He's like 18 now, right?
Dude, he's 21.
He's 21 now.
My
God
baby
damn
can
it.
drink. It's so funny. We took him out. So his birthday was in September. He turned 21. And I was like, just because it's a traditional rite of passage, you don't have to do it. So we took him to an Applebee's where there would be no pressure on him to drink. But if he wanted to, we would get him a drink. And my first drink was a Scooby snack. He's obsessed with Scooby-Doo. It seemed the most logical drink. So he got it for me. He had like a few sips of it. And he's like, yeah, I just don't like the taste of alcohol. I'm like, fine. Your decision.
That's fine. Your decision. That's fine.
He's very much his own person, which I think is pretty rad. He's never been like influenced by anything. In fact, I remember like when he was really little, I would on my breaks from work or when I was in college, I'd sometimes go try to have lunch with him. And he was really into it in preschool, and then in first grade, occasionally I would try to do it. And I went to give him a hug, and he was like, "Oh, Mom," he's like, not in front of my friends. And then he thought about it. He's like, you know what? I don't give a crap. Come here, give me a hug. So he's just, that's how he is with everything. He just really does what he is true to himself. And including with me and Danny, like we're big horror fans, and his friends think that's super rad. And they're like, oh my God, we're going to watch all the horror movies. And Caden's more into murder mysteries, and he's kind of an old man. He loves like Hercule Poirot and those kind of things.
Got it. Oh man. Yeah, I should definitely introduce you to Rachel.
Huh?
I should definitely introduce you to Rachel. She is another horror mom.
So who's Rachel?
Rachel is known as Horror Mom. She is currently dating the Guru.
Ooh. I think I've seen pictures of her because Guru posted some really cute pictures a while ago. I can't remember what it was, but I think they went to a wedding and they got dressed up for something.
Yes. Yeah.
Those were really cute.
Yeah, that was his brother's wedding.
Oh, cool. Well, I think that'd be awesome. I'd love to meet her. Maybe she can come on with Guru, like for one.
Ooh, maybe.
Would she be down for that, or is she like shy?
I don't know. We'd have to ask. Have to ask. I don't know.
I'll ask girl because girl's kind of shy
You
too.
know,
So
I think if I think the easiest would be if I got both of you on one of my streams.
hey, that's a good idea. You've been talking about having me on a stream.
Yeah, because I haven't see, I was like, didn't I used to have more friends?
You have loads
Like,
of
what
friends.
happens?
I think a lot of people. I mean, that's the thing with YouTube is sometimes people just kind of like retire.
Yeah, they do.
I've stayed in touch with some people who've retired, so, Jay Bond, from Bloodbath and Beyond, though I think he might be coming back to do something eventually. But, like, whatever happened to, like, Mother Mayhem? She used to be the horror. Like, I never hear from her
horror
anymore.
/ horror Mother
People
Mayhem.
just
Yeah,
kind
she
of-
disappeared.
Yeah.
I think she
never
got
gone for
really into being a mom.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I think that's
it's-
where she disappeared into.
It's very all-consuming, and she's got more than one
Yes.
kid, so it takes up a lot of time. When they're
Yeah,
little,
I
it's
think
hard.
she has either 2 or 3, something like
I know
that.
she has at least 2.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if she had more, but yeah, it can be hard with little kids.
yeah, but she seemed to be really, really into it. So that's
I kind
what.
of sometimes get overwhelmed and I will retreat into my little gory hole, but I always pop back out eventually. But like I said, I've been trying to stay in touch with people better, catch up with people better, because I think it's important. So that's what this new show
Speaking
is.
of holes, have you seen Glorious?
Glorious.
Yeah, it's about an evil glory hole.
I've seen an evil glory hole movie before, but it wasn't called
Did it
Glorious.
have? Did it have?
Danny, what's the
J.K.
name of the evil
Simmons?
glory hole movie we watched? It has like little rocks that come out of it and stuff. So the one I saw is like an evil glory hole movie. It's like a hole in the wall, but it starts telling the guy to do things, and they would give him like little gifts. They're like these little rocks. It's really weird. Gosh, what was that movie called? What's Glorious? Wait, did I? No, I
Glorious-
did see Glorious. Glorious has got that one guy, Ryan Quantain, in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, and then there's a whole twist at the end.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah,
I've seen stuff. I've seen things.
Okay.
Danny,
just
what was the
checking.
name of the evil gory hole movie we watched? It's in his house. It's I can't remember what country. It was a foreign film. It's been a while. I'm really terrible at remembering stuff today. I will remember. Yeah, I'm gonna just Google evil gory hole movie. Glory hole movie. I have a Facebook group, guys, called The Gory Hole, so I tend to flip up on this a lot. Actually was named by the Slut Pit, which is Jackula's fan base. They felt that I needed to name my chat, and they called it the Gory Hole, which I think is really funny.
You were also drawing a lot of dongs at the time. So
I do draw a lot of dongs. I have drawn a dong of you, I just haven't finished it.
It's somewhere.
Where's my dong book? Hold on a second. I mean, like everybody in the world, I have a book where I keep my dong drawings. Where the heck is it? Of course, I'm trying to find it, and now I can't find it.
Now you can't find it.
What the heck? Maybe someone stole my dongs. No, I have a sketchbook. Really big. No, I don't see it right now.
Oh well.
Well, I'll show you some other time. I do have
Yeah,
it, though.
yeah. Well, I also remember that you and the Countess got together and started naming everyone's dong.
Oh, yeah, that's my superpower. And she's really good at it, too. She's a natural.
Yeah.
We named yours Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad the Impaler. Yeah. I was touched.
Vlad the Impaler.
was
That's
touched.
a great name.
It's a great name for a cock. You know.
Dan's is Thor, and his balls are Thor's hammer. I'm just so good at it. It just comes to me, man. I don't even have to see someone's dong to name it. It's just the essence of it. Like, you know how some people can like look into your soul? I just get the essence of people's dongs and I can name them. So your wife can do the same thing, dude. She's very gifted.
Yes.
Highly intuitive.
She is. Yes, she is. Oh man. Whew. Oh. Oh shit.
Well, we're almost to 7 o'clock.
Almost 7
I'm
o'clock.
gonna go pick up Danny. This was super fun. I'm kind of sad to go.
Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely. What nights are usually good for you to be on?
Uh, Wednesdays I stream, so
Yeah.
I
So
don't have it every Wednesday. And Sundays are good for me. So if I don't have a stream those days, either one of those. But I mean,
okay.
honestly, oh yeah, I do have an Instagram, Gory Draws Dongs. If you guys want to see the dongs I've drawn, they're really cute, guys. They're the cutest dongs you've ever seen. I mean, like I draw like horror characters, like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and like Chucky, but they're a dong. It's adorable. Check it out, Gory Draws Dongs on Instagram. Honestly, most days I'm pretty flexible.
Most days are okay.
So,
okay, all right. We'll set one of those days up.
like
I'll let you go.
Around 5-ish is pretty good. Weekends
Okay,
are good.
yeah, we
I'm
usually
off
start around
weekends, but
7.
7's good. I mean, as long as I
7's
have
good?
like a
Okay.
day or two ahead of time and I can plan for it.
All right, all right.
You
All
know,
right,
and
we'll
I'm
put-
not watching
we'll see
Joe
if-
Bob, which is usually the first Friday of every month. Nothing
Right.
happens that day with Joe Bob.
Right.
The other
That
day
Jo-
when you asked
That's
me,
Joe Bob time.
the
you
other
know.
day when you asked me, I just finished my stream and I was watching Joe Bob on Fear Fest on AMC.
Oh,
That was kind of a special occasion.
I get you. I get
Guess where I'm going? I've got so many spooky plans. I'm going to Scarywood next Sunday, which is going to be
Ooh.
awesome in Idaho. And then I'm going to Joe Bob's book signing for his re-release of his book, Joe Bob Goes to the Drive-In in Oregon on Tuesday. And then I'm going to HorrorCon and I'm going to meet Don Mancini and Emma Caulfield. There's going to be a whole bunch of cool people there on next Saturday. It's pretty rad, dude.
I'm gonna be trying to get a new car.
Oh no, what happened to your car?
It's not doing well.
That sucks, dude. Well, good luck with that.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm a little bummed out about it. I've had that car for something like 20 years.
Oh, damn.
You know, so a little attached, but like it's a car. You know, and
Yeah.
I do need a new one.
Best of luck. Let me
Yeah.
know how it goes. I would like to
I
have you
will.
back soon or to come visit the slut pit soon.
Yeah,
So stay in
yeah.
touch.
We will.
And
I
let everyone know
will.
where they can find you.
Oh, you can find me here on YouTube at the Count Jackula Show, streaming most weekend. Let me start over. You can find me here on YouTube at the Count Jackula channel. I stream almost every weeknight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I think I might be a little late today because I gotta like eat some food. You know,
The Wild Guru brings
myself-
you food.
yeah, but
He needs more food. He's a grown boy.
I'm a grown boy. Probably need even more caffeine.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But if I'm not on tonight for some reason, I should be on tomorrow night.
Most excellent.
And I will see you all. I hope to see you all there, because we always have a groovy time.
Yeah, it's a super fun show. Go check that out. His link is in the description below if you're having any trouble finding it.
Yay!
And you will see me again at the same bat time, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, next Wednesday. And I am going to have my friend Doc Mortis. Used to be Dice Rollin', so I almost messed up there. But Doc Mortis will be on the show. So, and of course, we're going to be having Jack Black. We're going to be having Jack back, hopefully soon as well. Thank you for joining me, Jack. It was awesome hanging out with you.
Oh, my pleasure. Yay! I got to talk to Gory again.
Super fun. We're going to do it again soon. We're going to stay in touch. And
Yes.
thank you guys in the chat. And until we meet again, blessed be.